ABC 17 News Sports Zone starts now.
What's up, what's happening, and welcome into our live Liberty Bowl special from the Embassy Suites here in Memphis, Tennessee. It is the Media Hotel as the Tigers will meet Oklahoma State in the Liberty Bowl tomorrow. Kickoff is at 2:45 p.m. Well, joining me now is ABC 17's Tyler Murray. Tyler, we've been here all week. Let's just get this thing going already.
I know, right? The Mizzou football team hasn't played a game in basically a month. You can bet the Tigers are going to be ready to go tomorrow, especially those seniors after all they've been through.
Ride the wave, boys. Ride the wave.
One last ride.
It would leave a real sour feeling in your mouth if your last game as a Tiger was a loss.
For Drew Lock, Paul Adams, Terry Beckner Jr., Emmanuel Hall, Terez Hall, and many more.
It'd be huge, honestly. I mean, obviously, everything that we've ever gone through, kind of these past 4 to 5 years, to go out on a high would be unbelievable feeling.
There is a sense of calmness with this team, but the urgency is there.
One last impression on who we were. You know, we've gone through so much. You know, they've been there for the lows of lows. They've been there for the highs of highs, and just hopefully just go out one more time on a high.
Lose this game and your legacy is tainted.
The worst part would be just letting them down. So that's kind of what's in the back of my mind right now, is not letting these guys down one more time.
Win and you are immortalized among the Tiger greats. The stakes are high.
Just going out as a winner from your last season, it's something that you'll never forget. It's a night that you'll never forget.
For the seniors, it is their last time playing together. Never again will they suit up alongside each other. The unknown awaits them after Monday.
This team will never, ever be the same, and take full opportunity of the experiences that you've got.
But what is known is a win Monday makes everything they've been through all worth it.
We just want to start something, you know what I mean? We want to just be, oh, man, it's nice. Y'all go to a bowl game, 10 wins, 11 wins. Oh, you're trying to win the whole thing.
Earlier today, fans enjoyed the Liberty Bowl parade down Beale Street. Bands from both teams, cheerleaders from both teams performed, as well as several local high schools. As for the football teams, there will be no celebrating until after the game. We spoke with both head coaches this afternoon. In bowl games, motivation always comes into question. Coach Barry Odom has no doubts, though, his team will show up for the final game.
Absolutely not. No, we're playing a game. The guys that have invested everything they've got into this team. And we talked yesterday about this team will never, ever be the same. I could talk a long time about the opportunity to play together one more time.
Missouri's a really good team. Could be the best team we've played overall as a balanced football team. They're good all over the board. And when you have a quarterback that's potentially the first player taken in the draft at that position, you're a really good team.
Well, this week, several Mizzou football players, including defensive coordinator Ryan Walters as well, called Barry Odom either Bruce Almighty, Ron Burgundy. I would call him maybe Sharon Ray. It seems that Barry Odom is pretty good at predicting weather.
Yeah, he moved practice past Thursday, an hour and a half away to Oxford, Mississippi due to heavy rain. So let's hear from the meteorologist and what he thinks tomorrow will look like.
There's been a lot of study and a lot of hours into that. So it looks like we're going to get rain starting this afternoon into this evening and tonight. And then we get into tomorrow. I think it's going to rain most of pregame. And around 2 o'clock, the winds will kick up a little bit and move it on out of here. So it's going to be dry for kick, and that's good for all the fans. And it'll be a great day for college football.
Let's hope Odom is correct. Well, Coach Odom also has a unique family tie to Oklahoma State heading into the bowl game. His nephew, Barron Odom, plays for Oklahoma State. He is a freshman wide receiver for the Cowboys. Now, Odom jokes the entire family has sided with Barron for the Liberty Bowl. Remember, he's from Oklahoma. In fact, Barry jokes he got the cold shoulder from his immediate family this holiday season.
That side won't talk to me. It's crazy. So you figure out.
That side of the family?
Yeah, I mean, my dad won't talk to me. No return call from my mom. So I see who they sided with pretty quick. So that's the way it is, And, they're not going to get tickets, though, not from me.
The Mizzou football team took some time away from its busy schedule for a good cause. Barry Odom and more than a dozen of his players visited St. Jude Hospital on Friday. The Tigers signed autographs and took pictures with children battling serious illness. For the kids in the fight of their lives, hopefully the hour with the Tigers gave them a chance to just be kids again.
It means a lot just to put a smile on kids' face, just let them know like somebody's there for you.
This means a lot to them, basically, and so just being out here and just signing autographs and whatever I can do for them while I'm here, it means the world.
This is the Tigers' third trip to the Liberty Bowl and first in nearly 40 years. Take a look at this footage. In 1978, Mizzou beat LSU 20-15. That was head coach Warren Powers' first season with the Tigers. MU returned to the Liberty Bowl in 1980. The Tigers lost 28-25 to Purdue. Here is a fun fact from that one. Mizzou special teams coach Andy Hill was a walk-on receiver on that 1980 team. Well, coming up later in the show, we'll hear from someone who played in both of those games. Howard Richards is our Sunday sit-down guest, but right now, let's send it to ABC 17's Brittany Wiley back in the studio with a look at ticket sales.
Guys, Missouri isn't known for traveling well to bowl games, but this year does look like a different story. When the Tigers took on the Texas Longhorns in last year's Texas Bowl, the MU ticket office sold less than 5,000 tickets. The Tigers missed bowl eligibility in 2016, but in 2015, MU again sold less than 5,000 tickets for the Citrus Bowl against the Golden Gophers of Minnesota. Both the Texas Bowl and Citrus Bowl were more than a 12-hour drive for Tiger fans. Memphis is just 6 hours away. According to Mizzou Athletics spokesperson Nick Juice, the MU ticket office has sold 7,500 of its 8,000 allotted tickets for tomorrow's game. Juice told me that 7,500 is only the tickets through Mizzou, but fans have also purchased tickets through secondary sites or from the Liberty Bowl itself. Whether it's to see Drew Lock don the Tiger uniform one more time or watch the best MU team since 2014 finish out its season, Mizzou fans seem to be traveling a bit better this year. Back down to you guys in Memphis.
Switching gears to hoops, the women's basketball team got a big-time addition this weekend when Sierra Porter announced she was coming out of medical retirement to play her second half of her senior season. Sierra Porter making her much-anticipated return today for the Tigers against Arkansas State. But first, closing seconds of the first half now, Akira Levy puts it up and in just before the buzzer as the Porter family on hand to watch Sierra. Second half now, Sierra Porter checked in and hits from mid-range for her first basket since rejoining the team. And shortly after, this free throw would also be the 1,000th point for Porter in her career with MU, as Mizzou would pull away in the second half, goes on to win 70-50.
I'm just excited. I mean, I get my friend back and I get my post player back. So I'm just super excited. And I know she hasn't been here through maybe some of the challenging parts, but this team does not care. It's all about the front of the jersey, and we need her. I mean, she's a 6'4" girl.
I'm excited for her, but I'm also really excited for our team because of, the level of play that she plays at and what she can help us do in conference play.
As for the Tiger men, Mizzou now has won 6 straight games. The Tigers are 9-3 after Saturday's win over Morehead State. Mark Smith led the way, scoring a career-high 22 points. Senior guard Jordan Geis right behind him with 20. Conference play now right around the corner. The Tigers will open up their SEC slate on January 8th against Tennessee.
I think we're good. I think we're going to cause a lot of havoc, but, we're just going to keep working hard every day, and I think, our team, we're going to be ready to go in SEC play.
Well, Mizzou certainly has lots of fans, especially down here in Memphis, but none quite like Brian Gardner. I'll share his signature story right after this. Welcome back. There are 6 Mizzou football players from the state of Tennessee, including 3 from right here in Memphis.
And when they step on the field tomorrow, they'll be in front of friends, family, and plenty more tomorrow night.
From Jonathan Johnson to Emmanuel Hall to Tyler Beatty and to Corey Fatoni, Mizzou's success is rooted deep right here in Tennessee.
It's going to be exciting, especially going home with family and friends. I have a lot of people out there watching me play, so it'll be a fun experience.
When the announcement came down, perhaps nobody was happier than their families.
My mama just screaming, and my stepdad, everybody's just happy that the game's at home. I ain't got to travel.
Just my family. Being 6 hours away is kind of hard to see them every week, every day. So it's just a little different.
The perfect chance to see their sons and nephews and grandsons in the biggest stage.
Probably about 15 to 20 people.
The 6 Tennessee Tigers combined for every punt, countless tackles, and 12 touchdowns this year.
But I hope for a big performance out there.
But nothing would top being able to put on that same kind of performance with their families in the crowd.
To be able to go out there and just get a chance to play from where I grew up and just watch the stadium just going back and forth from high school, it's going to be good to play there. We're from the same spot, so I mean, kind of talk the same, act the same. So it's fun being out there.
Emmanuel Hall is about 3 hours away from his hometown of Franklin, Tennessee. Playing at home means just a little bit more this time around after his father passed away just a few months ago.
If you really put your mind to it, you can really do anything, and that's what I've learned from this year with all the negativity and stuff that is going on with me.
The last time the Tigers were in Tennessee, they dominated. Tyler Beatty and Jonathan Johnson both scored touchdowns. Now for their family that they have and the family they've lost, they hope for a repeat.
I think it's going to be really big, not only for me personally, but for this team.
Yeah, and Emmanuel Hall also says his mom's going to be there in the crowd. She's gone through a lot. He's gone through a lot. What an incredible story. So we'll see if he can get one more last win as a Tiger.
Well, now on to another story. Mizzou certainly has plenty of fans, but none quite like Brian Garner. The 62-year-old did not go to Mizzou, but he sure is passionate about the Tigers. And it just so happens the Tigers are just as passionate about him.
All day, you know. All day.
Brian Garner goes
Yeah, I appreciate y'all coming out too, man.
where the Tigers go.
A little belief take you a long way.
In 11 years, I have not missed a home game.
Wouldn't miss it, baby.
I average 11 games a year attended.
I think he's one of the Mizzou fans that should go down, as a legend here.
The St. Louis native is a Mizzou superfan.
He represents this program better than anybody could.
Just take a look at his home. It's full of Tiger collectibles and signed pictures. But his most prized possession,
I was born with a birth defect in my hip.
his prosthetic leg.
So when I was 4, they amputated part of my leg, and I've had an artificial leg 58 years now.
But for Garner,
I don't think of me as being an amputee.
his disability
It never stopped me from doing anything.
has never been a disadvantage.
He like a part of the team. Like he a legit player on the team or part of the staff or something, you know what I mean?
His signature passion began 7 years ago at Cardinals spring training.
Everybody's getting autographs, and my son says, "Dad, why don't you have him sign your leg?"
Now, he's got more than 200 autographs.
Every autograph I get, I'm giddy about it. And I firmly believe that helps keep me young.
Over time, some signatures have rubbed off.
But I have a little notebook at home. Every time I get an autograph, I write that name in that notebook.
Like world champion Jaden Cox.
I got Michael Porter Jr. on there.
Sophie Cunningham signed it.
There you go. That was actually a first tonight.
So did Robin Pinchton and Konzo Martin.
I got both of them.
Even former Mizzou football coach Gary Pinkel's on there.
Gary Pinkel is the absolute, and thank you, Coach. He is the absolute reason I became a season ticket holder.
Garner is not shy.
I always wear shorts everywhere I go.
And he never goes too far without a Sharpie.
Because you just never know when you're going to run into somebody.
Lindsay, I need a favor.
Yeah.
Would you sign my leg for me?
You bet.
He's even had someone offer to buy it.
A leg like this is about $12,000. If I tried to sell it, my kids would kill me. Because my daughter said a couple years ago, "Dad, who gets your leg when you die?"
Go figure. He's never been turned down.
I'm batting 1,000.
Including 3 for 3 with the Locke family.
To have me, my dad, and my grandpa all on it, it's really cool.
Over the years, many have made their mark on Garner's leg.
He's just a great human that cares about this program and cares about the kids in this program. So whenever we find someone like that, we want to give as much as we can to them.
But none have meant more than the mark he's made on the Tigers.
I hug him, and then I go and hug my family.
He needs to know that we really appreciate who he is and how he operates, and just the spirit that he brings to this place, and it's greatly appreciated, and it definitely doesn't go unnoticed.
Oh, God. I love these guys. This just melts my heart. To hear words from these guys like this, there's nobody more passionate about this football team than I am. I just love this football program.
Garner tells me the next signature he's looking to get on his leg, Kelly Bryant, the transfer quarterback from Clemson. Some tells me that he'll have no problem getting that one day. Well, from one of the most interesting Mizzou fans to one of the most interesting former players, Howard Richards, former Tiger O lineman, also former CIA member. He joins me next on Sunday Sit Down. Joining me now is former Mizzou football player Howard Richards. You're not just the former Mizzou football player, you also played in the NFL, you were in the CIA, and now you're the color commentator for Tiger Radio Network alongside Mike Kelly. We appreciate you coming on.
At least you can keep up with everything. I can't anymore. So.
And your official title right now, let me get it right, Assistant AD for Community Relations in St. Louis. Is that right?
That is correct, yes.
So how's that going for you? And how do you think the relationships are with people in St. Louis?
I think it's going real well. We're making lots of progress. I'm primarily involved in a couple of special projects, really working towards sort of building the brand and the historical relationship between the flagship campus and the city of St. Louis, but also working with middle school age young boys and girls up to the age of 13, 14, actually 8th grade. Really trying to build the pipeline. So it's not just an athletics effort, it's really an effort that involves the entire university.
Seems like Barry Odom's doing a pretty good job with the recruiting, especially with this year's class, and he seems to be doing a good job with the team right now that he's got going on this win streak headed into the Liberty Bowl, facing off against Oklahoma State. Just what do you think of the matchup?
Listen, former Big 12 rivals, it's probably going to be a shootout with Mike Gundy and his offensive prowess, if you will. Regardless of the fact that they're only 6-6, I think Gundy's ability to try to exploit whatever Missouri does will be tremendous. I mean, he's a guy that knows how to get his quarterback to sling the ball around. And, I expect it to be probably a much more closer matchup than the records might indicate. But going back 5 years ago, Missouri faced Oklahoma State in the Cotton Bowl. It was a pretty good game before Missouri, had some pretty good success late in the game and opened up the lead and eventually won it. I expect to see the same type of matchup.
I'm sure Mizzou fans would like to see another one, that's for sure. You were in the last time the Mizzou football team played in the Liberty Bowl back in 1980, also in the other game in 1978.
Yes, correct.
What are some of your memories of playing at the Liberty Bowl?
Great memories, especially the first one, which of course we won. We beat LSU. The second game was a game that I think we kind of let get away, a game that we could have won as well. We were right in it, but unfortunately did not come away with the victory. But the thing I remember is, first of all, there were far fewer bowl games 40-some years ago, 38, 40 years, yeah, exactly. So I think the bowl game actually meant more to those watching college football at the time. Nonetheless, I think that we battled. We were certainly in both games. Obviously, won the first one in '78, but it was a tremendous matchup. A lot of marquee players are able to come out of both games. The 1980 game, of course, Mark Herman was one of the leading passers of the nation. First game was pretty great for us. Missouri's first bowl game in 5 years, and it was Warren Powers' first year as head coach. I think we all were just sort of amazed by the accomplishments of what we were able to do in his first season. And I think we underachieved in some games, but nonetheless, we were able to come away with the victory.
I believe Andy Hill was on your 1980 team, yeah. Am I right?
Indeed, yeah. Now you're dating both of us. Andy was a freshman walk-on receiver. I don't know that anyone has been associated with Missouri football longer than Andy.
Lastly, I got to ask about the CIA. What's the most tense situation that you were in that you can tell us about?
I've been a few. I've had bullets fly over my head. Was shot in the face in a training accident, and been in some very hairy situations. Just missed being in a building that was ultimately hit by missile fire by the Israelis. So always a step ahead of the disasters, but nonetheless, it was a great experience for me. Was able to travel the world, and I walk away with certainly a newfound interest and love for what our country does and what we do to fight for freedom throughout the world.
Well, Howard Richards, you've certainly had a very interesting life. We appreciate your time here.
Thank you.
On
Thanks,
the
Andrew.
Bowl Special. We'll be right back after this.
And welcome back. One last thing tonight. Well, Tyler Murray, our photographer, Curtis Bottoms, and I sure ate a lot of good food this week while we've been in Memphis.
Yeah, plenty of barbecue. It was all good, but let's take a look back at the best week of food here in Memphis.
I think so. I love Chipotle. Well, that is all the time we have for our bowl special. I want to thank our sponsor, Han Custom Engravings, for sending Tyler and I on our trip to Memphis. Once again, kickoff 2:45, Mizzou and Oklahoma State from the Liberty Bowl. But for now, for Tyler Murray, I'm Sports Director Andrew Kaufman. We'll see you guys on the flip side.